Well, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to what's happening in the Gulf. The latest on Tropical Depression 2 per the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, the 10 o'clock update. Truthfully, not a lot has changed. It's nearly stationary in the eastern Gulf. We still have sustained winds at 30 miles per hour. It's going to be moving very slowly over the next couple of days, but Tropical Depression 2 is expected to strengthen and become Tropical Storm Bertha by tomorrow as it sits offshore of the Florida Panhandle. And then it will be moving westward the rest of the week, and it will be moving all the way across the entire Gulf Coast. It could pass right along Louisiana along the coastline by Wednesday. Now, there's still some uncertainty exactly where this storm is going to pass exactly. Where will the center of the storm go? A lot of uncertainty. It's not set in stone, so we definitely want to keep checking back in for the latest forecast. I think we will have some minor impacts here during the midweek time frame, especially on Wednesday, but I don't think this is going to be a big blow up of a storm because there is some dry air working on the system. There is some wind shear helping to keep it pretty weak and disorganized, but it could still strengthen in the coming days since it will be sitting over the hot Gulf water. So we have to really pay attention to this thing. Right now, storms are taking over the eastern Gulf. We've had rounds of rain across parts of Florida over the last couple of days. We're going to continue to watch this move slowly to the north-northwest. Some more tropical storm impacts are possible for the Florida Gulf Coast, the Panhandle going into tomorrow. And then it's going to keep on moving westward. And then we fast forward to Wednesday. And it's looking like a lot of the impacts are going to get sheared and pushed to the south. So a lot of the heavy rain associated with what will become Bertha will likely happen and set up over the entirety of the Gulf water, so out in the middle of the open waters. That's good. That's a good thing. But we could still see some passing heavier showers and storms going into the midweek. But we will see. It's not going to be a huge problem for everybody. Going into tomorrow, we'll have a couple isolated showers and storms as some tropical moisture starts to spread in a little bit. But tomorrow is going to be a pretty quiet day, just very hot and humid. Tuesday, I think our winds are going to start increasing, so it's going to be breezy, a little unsettled. We'll have a few passing showers and storms, maybe some soaking downpours coming and going as the storm gets a little bit closer. And then as we get into Wednesday, I think this will be the day where we see the most impacts. I'm not expecting anything major to be impacting us, though I think it's going to be windy. We will likely have some heavier showers and storms moving in, especially along the coast. We'll have those stronger winds along the coast as well, and probably some coastal flooding going into the midweek time frame and some rough marine conditions offshore. Rainfall totals certainly could add up across the eastern and central Gulf Coast from the Florida Panhandle off westward through Alabama, Mississippi, and for us along coastal Louisiana. I think our highest rain totals will probably be right along the coast of southeast Louisiana, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain, but that could certainly change. But even the river parishes down the bayou could see maybe close to that as well, maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain south of the lake, and a little bit higher rain totals, maybe closer to 5 inches along the coast. That could certainly change. North of the lake, probably a little bit less, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches or so on the North Shore across South Mississippi. As we go through the next couple of days, there's going to be a low risk of street flooding. It's not going to be a problem everywhere. Storms are going to be hit or miss with this system. Again, the system can certainly change. It could jog a little bit farther to the north, a little bit farther to the south. That will also play a role in how intense it gets. But the highest risk for street flooding does come on Wednesday. It's just a little bit higher. It's a slight risk, a level 2 out of 4. So we'll be watching for some heavier rain on Wednesday. Let's look at these winds. So like I said, if it's going to be setting up farther to the south, it will intensify more because it will have more of an opportunity to take advantage of the warm Gulf waters. If it sets up a little bit further to the north, it will be interacting with land more, and that will cause for it to be weaker. There is an uncertainty on how intense this system could be, but I think we're going to have some strong winds, especially along the coast going into Wednesday. We could have wind gusts around 40 to 50 miles per hour right along the coast, and especially offshore. Inland, like New Orleans, North Shore, most of the area could see stronger gusts during the day Wednesday, 20 to 35 miles per hour. So it's going to be windy on Wednesday, but nothing crazy coming our way, I think, at this point. Of course, things can still change. That's why we definitely want you to check back in. But here's a recap. Here's what we know. Likely going to strengthen to a tropical storm Bertha tomorrow. We'll have a few more passing storms this week, especially later Tuesday, and then Wednesday for sure. I think that's our day, Wednesday. It's going to be windy midweek. We'll have some heavy rain, especially along the coast, and we'll also have some coastal flooding, rough marine conditions. Right now, it is nice and quiet. We're going to be quiet going into the overnight hours. The focus tomorrow is going to be the heat. We have that heat advisory tomorrow. Feels like temperatures up to 110 tomorrow afternoon. So try to stay cool tomorrow. And we're watching for these tropical impacts midweek. So make sure you're staying tuned.